Hello again. Lenovo had the Thinkbook 14s Yoga on sale with a Tiger Lake processor, so I figured it was worth trying out to see how well it performs. This particular 14s has a Core i7-1165G7 4-core 8-thread processor, 16 gigs of DDR4 memory, 8 of which is replaceable, 512GB PCIe SSD, Intel AX201 Wi-Fi 6 card, 14-inch Full HD 300-nit touchscreen with an active pen, 60 watt-hour battery, fingerprint reader, backlit keyboard, and Windows 10. The laptop frame appears to be made out of aluminum, and Lenovo calls the color of this laptop Abyss Blue. I think the Thinkbook lettering on the laptop lid is a little tacky, but hey, to each their own. On the left side of the laptop, there's a USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 port, Thunderbolt 4 port, USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 port, HDMI 1.4B port, which is rather bizarre since most of Lenovo's newer laptops have HDMI 2.0 ports, and a headphone/mic combo jack. On the right side, there's an active pen which is charged by the laptop, power button with a fingerprint reader, power LED, micro SD card slot, and another USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 port, and finally a Kensington lock slot. On the back, there's a vent for the heatsink and fan that cools the CPU. Keyboard and palm rest flex are relatively normal and similar to the Ideapad 5 14-inch that I recently took a look at. The screen does flip 180 degrees, but ends up being rather thick since it doesn't fold flat, similar to the HP ProBook 435 that I also recently had a gander at. There's 10 screws that hold the bottom lid on, and unlike the Ideapad, at least 6 of the screws are retained in the cover. It has a nice feel to it, but honestly I'm not a huge fan of laptops made out of metal because I feel like they scratch easier and are also uncomfortable to use when they sit out in a cold environment or if they get too hot, although most people perceive metal laptops to be of more premium quality. Also, depending on the type of metal used, it could potentially add more weight to the laptop. After a bit of prying, I was able to get the cover off. And as you can see, there's a memory slot that is currently occupied by an 8GB stick of DDR4. An SK Hynix 2240 512GB NVMe SSD, 60 watt-hour battery, Intel AX201 Wi-Fi 6 card, as well as a 60 watt-hour battery. There's also an extra NVMe slot as a bonus, just like the Ideapad 5. Let's power on the laptop and see what this bad boy can do. Before showing you guys performance numbers, I did notice something rather interesting and I thought it would be good to explain before you see the benchmark results. 1. Benchmark numbers only tell you so much. In reality, things can be quite different, and as you'll see later on, this laptop had ridiculous amounts of delay which I found very strange. And trying to simply close a window or clicking to open an application left me sitting there sometimes for more than 10 seconds wondering what was going on with the laptop. 2. The laptop seemed to perform better without the charger plugged in, which you'll see also in a little bit. And I did try updating the BIOS, which seemed to have fixed that issue, but again, it's 2021 and things like this shouldn't happen. And finally, 3. Benchmark numbers did not seem consistent compared to the other laptops I've benchmarked lately, and that's rather bizarre. As with other laptops, I let the laptop cool for a few minutes before running the next tests, so the laptop shouldn't have been overheating when running these tests. On the webcam front, there isn't much to write home about, and I honestly wish laptop manufacturers would start using better webcams. As you can see, speakers are as usual not very good, and even with Dolby Atmos, it still doesn't sound very good. Anyways, on to benchmarks. As you can see, user benchmark says the laptop's running normal, and the SSD in the laptop seems to be a little higher than average in performance compared to most other SSDs that come standard with laptops. NovaBench averaged 2038 over 4 runs. $1187 on Cinebench's multi-core benchmark, and $519 on a single core when plugged in and before updating the BIOS on the laptop. I only tested Cinebench for the remaining tests, and on battery, the laptop scored an average of 1686 multi-core and 543 single-core. After the BIOS updates, it scored an average of 1680 multi-core and 518 single-core plugged in to the charger. So the single-core benchmark score is quite a bit higher than, let's say, the ThinkPad T14 with the Ryzen 7 Pro 4750U, which benchmarked an average of 471 but scored an average of 3300 multi-core. However, for me, the Ryzen seemed to do better when it came to doing simple things such as opening applications, web browsing, as well as video encoding. You may think that because the 4750 has 8 cores and 16 threads is unfair, but even the Ideapad 5 14-inch I tested also scored a 3300, which is an 8-core processor. The point I'm getting at is, I think Intel lost their way, and unless you specifically need an Intel-based laptop, I think AMD laptops are currently the way to go for PC laptops. I kind of wish Intel still made processors that were as good as the Core 2 Duo days. But who knows, maybe this is a wake-up call for Intel, and maybe something killer may be coming out soon. Next, I put the Ideapad 5 and the ThinkPad 14s side by side and encoded the same video. As you can see here, the Ideapad finished encoding video way faster than the Thinkbook 14s. I also had HW Info and Task Manager pulled up to show you guys that the laptop is actually limited by its TDP and not by temperature. And finally, an obligatory shot of the screen at 100% scaling. So would I recommend getting this laptop? Based on this example, I would say no. No one should have to sit there and wait around for an application to load or wonder if they had actually clicked on something or if the laptop is just sitting there thinking. If it wasn't for that, then I could see this laptop being good for a college student who's looking for something new and has a touchscreen and active pen for taking notes with a nice premium design to it. In the next video, I took a look at the new MacBook Air M1. If you know me, I'm not a big fan of Apple products, but who knows? Maybe this laptop is the one that will convert me into using a Mac. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.